Hi everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and this is our next Saturday with Stacy, YouTube class number 436. Welcome! Welcome to our commercial-free, full-length, technique-based classes. If you are new to us or never watched a Saturday with Stacy YouTube class before, well, hello! Don't forget to subscribe over here. And what we have for you today is a little bit of crafty happiness that came in a whole big package of, you've got to be kidding me, really? Because, yep, that's how all this came to me, was like, seriously, really? No. But, well, you gotta love making lemonades, and that's what we crafters do. We turn lemons into some fabulous things. Lemon bars, lemonade, lemon meringue pie. I might be a little hungry. So I have got product from Creative Expressions for you. Yep, brand new product. I have got product from Couture Creations for you. Yep, brand new product. I have got product from Sizzix for you. Not brand new product, but you might not have seen it before because, well, it's not a typical Sizzix product. But then again, what's typical these days? So, with several of these items, even though they are brand new, just to market, there were from manufacturing things that happened. Some of them this big and some of them this big, and well, yeah, I think the biggest one is about that big. None of them were huge. But what does that mean to you? Well, what it meant to me was I had to find a workaround to show you how to use some of these things. But what it meant to you was we were able to get them at a holy smokes artichokes price. That's one of the things about being lucky enough to get product first to market. Quite often, I will see the finished product before the manufacturer will see the finished product because they're manufacturing it and they immediately ship it right off to me. They haven't even played with it yet, and it will land in my lap, and I will give them a call and go, "Did you mean for this to do that?" And they're like, "What?" And by that time, it's all been manufactured, and I'm like, "Yeah, oops." You know? So that's what happened this time. There's a couple things here where I received the finished product before the manufacturer even had time to really look at it. And from the outward looks, it's perfect, it's fine. But then when you start to use it, you're like, And then and I was like, I really do think that most manufacturers have a red phone. They have a phone on their desk. I believe it is red. In my mind, it is red. And that phone is the SMS phone. And the only time it rings is when Stacy calls because there's a problem. I don't want to call because there's a problem. I'm calling because, well, you need to know. But because I'm usually one of the first to play with the products, I find what's going on with it before anybody else. And this time it is so to our advantage. Both of our advantages. I'm able to bring you product that is brand spanking new, and you're able to get it at a really great discount. Just par for the course for the last several years, right? But you gotta love the manufacturers. We are talking about Couture Creations, Aussie Andrew. We are talking about Creative Expressions over in the United Kingdom. And then just to make everything all better, just to make it all better, we have Sizzix for you. And Sizzix is a free gift for part of this YouTube. Like I said, Sizzix is they're just there to say, "Oh, let's make it better." Okay, I have winner to talk about, and then I think I'll tell you a little bit about the product. I'm going to start with Creative Expressions product, and then we're going to move to Aussie Andrew's product. And there's a little method to my madness about why we're doing what we're doing in the order that we're doing it with. You just have to trust. Just go with me on this, and hopefully you learn something new, or you see something new, or you are willing to try something new, even if you don't shop with Scrapbooking Made Simple. Maybe you have some of this product already at home, or something very similar to it where you could say, I wonder if I could do that. Well, if you don't try, you don't know. Okay, so winner, chicken dinner. Let's get that out of the way. And then we really have a lot to do today, so I may just scroll on down and get started. But first, I'll talk to you about the Creative Expressions product, and then we'll start with that. Okay, so $4.35, that was the Simply Defined Layering Stencils. Wahoo Kachoo, with all that marabou that was on sale. So sorry to see it go, but you know, every now and then I've got SMS girl Mary Lynn said I had no more room in the M aisle, and I have another manufacturer that has to fit in the M aisle. So we had to make do. All right, our first winner is Kathy. Kathy Setter. Congratulations, Kathy Setter. Is that you? Because if it is, you are a winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. You've just won yourself a $25 gift card. Kathy Setter, come on down. You are our next winner. Let's see. We always have two of you. So our second winner is Laura. Gosh, I'm so happy with both of these people. I can pronounce their name. Laura Vance. Hello, Laura Vance. How are you today? Did you ever think I would call your name? Kathy, did you ever think I would call your name? Probably not. But there it is, Laura. There it is, Kathy. You are winner chicken dinners. Congratulations to the both of you. You have a $25 gift card already placed in your online account. You don't have to do anything except for spend it. That is your job. That is your big job for today. Go spend some free money and buy something that is going to make your heart happy. From me to you. All right, so we've got to do the winner chicken dinner dance. Are you ready? You're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Wahoo, kachoo for you. Congratulations to both of you. I hope you enjoy whatever it is you buy. Just be frivolous. Get something you would never get for yourself normally. You just be frivolous with it. Find something that you're like, I've always wanted to try it. Try it now on me. It was so funny. I was on a Zoom yesterday with NAMTA. NAMTA is the fine art version of Creativation, of AFCI. And the two organizations have merged. So there's no more Creativation or AFCI. There's now NAMTA featuring Creativation. And I think NAMTA is the National Art Materials Association Trade? No. National Art Materials Trade Association. There we go. I think that's what NAFTA stands for. Anyway, I was on a Zoom with them yesterday, and there was a bunch of other ladies on there, and we were talking, and one of them said, winner, chicken dinner. I'm like, yep, that's me. It was kind of funny. Maybe you had to be there. All right, I'm going to tilt down. We're going to get started for today. I've got a couple samples to show you. No, I think I'm going to talk about the Creative Expressions first, and then we'll tilt down, and then I'll show you some. Get started. All right, I have 3 new SKUs from Creative Expressions, and when I say new, I mean they are brand new. Just released like a week and a half ago. And I wanted them, so I bought them. Like all of them. I wanted them for a YouTube. So I went in and I bought pretty much all they had available at the time. And they're very, very simple things. They're called Wordies. Let me take it out of the bag. There's 3 different packs. One is everyday, one is inspirational, and one is called birthday. And this is what they look like. They're called Wordies. And what do you get? You get 4 sheets of paper, 2 black, 2 white, that have all different kinds of words on them that you can cut out and use on your layouts or your card making or mixed media or junk journals or altered art. And each page has the exact same words, just in either a black print or a white print. And they're really very useful. I thought that they would be really amazingly useful, especially with the different kinds that they have, from your inspirational, that's what these are, inspirational, to the everyday and your birthday. Now, on the packaging, way down there, I don't know if I can zoom in or if it'll zoom in, it says that these are printed on toner-based paper and you should be able to foil with them. Somewhere in this general area, you may have to get your readers on to see it. I don't know if it's blurry or not, but it says what the packaging contains. It says printed on toner. The sheets are also foilable. No, they're not. And they're not printed on toner. They're printed on litho paper. Oops. There was a little misunderstanding between the printer and Creative Expressions. A little misunderstanding. They were printed on the wrong paper, but all of the packaging says that they're foilable. Well, they're not foilable, and now that makes them kind of a dented can. If you don't know anything about my dented can story, you will have to go back and find the YouTube that has it. It has a very fond memory of mine, of my mom and me and a Girl Scout meeting at my house. But so this is a dented can because the packaging is incorrect. The product is fine, and I'm going to show you how to use the product, but the packaging has that. It can't get any smaller, right? It's as tiny, but it's there, and because it's there, well, Creative Expressions has to let them go, and we're gonna sell them to you for a song. The 3 different packs, so there's 12 sheets in total. If we're only selling them in the bundle, they would have been, I think, retail for all 3 would have been $14.99, so $4.99 a pack, somewhere in that range. We're doing all 3 packs for $5.99. You're going to get 12 sheets of because each pack contains 4 sheets. Amazing. So you're going to get all 3 of them for $5.99, and I'm going to show you how to use them. So that's where we're going to start. And then I get to come back and tell you about Ozzy Andrews' product and the tiny little problem with that product. Not problem, the tiny little opportunity with that product to save you some cold hard cash. All right, none of this was expected. I bought all of this product thinking that easy peasy, gonna sell through this. This is amazing new stuff. Only, well, lemons grew, so we're making lemonade. All right, I'm gonna tilt on down. We're gonna get started for today. It's good to see everybody. Bye. Okay, down we go. Down, 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 and in. Oh. See, we can look good there. Move this over just a touch. Oh, there we go. All right, so let me show you a couple samples. This one was made by honorary SMS girl Patty. They need to put their names on the back of them. Beautiful, isn't it? This is just beautiful. So, the hugs celebrate our Creative Expressions. The Wordies I just showed you. The tulips are Couture Creations. And then this paper you may have had when we did a memory box bundle, buy one, get one free. And the bling is from Black Friday. So, which we are almost done shipping Black Friday, holy smokes. But yay! Okay, so this one was done by honorary SMS girl Patty. Super cute. And then this one, again, Gosh, I don't know whose paper that is. That might be L'Enfant's paper. Could be. The center is Ozzy Andrew. And this one was done by my son James. And down here, the sentiment is Creative Expressions. So this one was done by my son James. He was going to be 21 in just 2 months. Hard to believe, but so he did a great job, huh? Did a great job. Okay, so let me talk to you about the product. Let's bring it on over. So like I said, they've got 3 different packages. They've got Everyday, Birthday, and Inspirational. Inspirational has sayings like you're amazing, stay positive, dare to dream, today's a new day, be real, not perfect, be unique, and there are no little dreams, smile, be happy, cherish every moment. And you can just cut each of these little sentiments out to put a quick sentiment on your card or layout or altered art, or you can cut several of them and stack them. It looks really, really cute. We also have the birthday, and birthday has happy birthday to you, cheers, have a fabulous day, wishing you the very best birthday, best wishes, sending hugs and loves on your birthday, sorry I missed your birthday, happy unbirthday, birthday girl, have a fantastic day, age is just a number, belated birthday wishes. I mean, there's just a ton of them on here. And again, you get 2 sheets of black and 2 sheets of white in the birthday set. Then we have the everyday set. And in the everyday set, it has make a wish, good luck, you and me, enjoy, hugs, from me, hello, dream, believe in magic, happy birthday, best wishes, love, hip hip hooray, be happy, enjoy, proud of you, do what you love, I miss you, cheer up, it's your day, hi, totally awesome, hello, sunshine, thank you, you are amazing, over the moon, never give up, I miss you, be you, woohoo. Well, where's the kachoo, Lizanne? It's wahoo kachoo. Happiness is homemade. Good times, be you, just saying. So, just a note. I mean, so imagine getting 4 sheets of all of those words. And of course, I didn't read all of them. I just gave you a sampling of what's there. Easy to do. And when you're getting all of it for $5.99, that's 12 sheets to work with for $5.99. If you have, because these are going to be rerun and they're going to be put out at regular price, if you have the opportunity to get 2 sets, I absolutely would, because once they come back, the packaging will be correct and we'll have to raise the price to full price. So if you can get 2 sets, I would. It'll set you up for quite some time. And at $5.99, that makes it, let's see, that's 12, and that makes it 50 cents a sheet. Is that about right? 50 cents a sheet? You can't go wrong for that. So let me show you how we're going to use them, because they are not made exactly the way they were supposed to. This is on litho paper, so it's a little bit glossy. In fact, you can probably see a gloss in the camera. Little bit glossy. Again, you cannot put foil on top of this and run it through a laminator. It is not on toner paper. The next time she releases them, because they're reprinting them on toner paper, you will be able to foil them, absolutely. But you will be paying full price for them, absolutely. I wanted to use these in the cards that we're gonna do today. And I'm thinking, okay, when I saw them, I knew what I wanted to do with them, but I just wasn't sure how I was gonna get it done. And now I know. I wanted to color them. What if you don't want to keep them white? What if you want to do something more with them? I wanted to color them. And the easiest way to color them is with alcohol ink markers. Alcohol ink markers. Easiest way to do it. Why can't I do it with a regular ink? Well, let me show you. Hands are going to get dirty. So I've got some Hero ink here. And I want to show you what happens. This is a dye-based ink. really has a hard time drying. I mean, it really has a hard time drying because a litho paper has kind of a coating on top of it. And this really is going to stay wet for a long time. In fact, I mean, it just, dye-based ink has a hard time drying on the toner-based paper. And see, it's just kind of good. Now, if you want that look, well, happy day for you. And I wouldn't necessarily color all of them the same color, but I wanted you to see where the issue lies putting a dye-based ink on top of them. It can tend to not dry quickly. And if I go with a brush, it just moves everywhere and never really dries. So we had to come up with a different way of doing it. And that's where, look at that. And that is where our alcohol markers come in, because alcohol markers are meant for not only coloring and shading and layering your colors, but it's a permanent type of ink. Not pigment, it's permanent. So when you look at alcohol ink markers, you think Sharpies, you think Bics, you think something that you can write on metal or plastic, coated paper, vellum. Yes, this is the marker because they dry like that because they have alcohol in them and the alcohol evaporates so quickly. Could you use Bics or Sharpies like I'm going to use Ozzie Andrews alcohol ink markers? Absolutely. If you have them, use them. The benefit of Ozzie Andrews alcohol ink markers is that, one, they're $1.99. They're $1.99 for an alcohol ink marker. They have not only the basic nib, your bullet point nib, they also have a brush tip, which you cannot get with a Sharpie or a Bic. And for $1.99, they are an excellent marker. Comparable Copics, sketch Copics, retail for, I believe, $7.99, and I think the lowest price you can find them for is about $5.65. That means you could get 3 markers for basically the same price as 1 Copic. You have to make the decision. You have to be the judge. But for $1.99, which is about the price of a Sharpie, you get a better quality product. And for $1.99, you get a product that is comparable to a Copic. It is. So, in fact, Claire loves her Ozzie Andrew Couture Creations alcohol inks markers better than she likes her Copics. So I'm going to put this one aside right now, and I'm going to bring this one over. And ideally, you're going to cut the piece that you want before. In fact, I'm going to go, maybe I tilt on down just a little bit more and zoom in just a little bit more. And maybe scooch up just a little bit more. Up. Okay, so ideally, you want your alcohol ink marker and you want to cut your sentiment out before you color it. For the ease of you seeing what I'm doing, I'm going to leave it on the sheet, and I will cut it, but I want you to see it on the sheet. An alcohol ink marker is going to do a beautiful job. So let's see. Suppose I can use the back of this one because I just want to see what color ink I'm using. All right, so that's a nice pink. So I can go in there and right over the top. And now I've colored my paper. And because it's alcohol, gosh, it looks almost dry. Yep, look at that. Because it's alcohol, it's dry. And I took that as opposed to, remember, as opposed to dye-based ink, where it's not gonna dry. Ooh, I'm gonna have pretty fingers today, everybody. Pretty fingers. My alcohol dried almost immediately. And then this is when you trim it out. Now this is when my fussy cutting is not going to be the best. And you probably will want a trimmer because you want them nice and squared up. Now she didn't do them as stickers because they were meant to go ahead and be put through a laminator. Boy, I really botched that one, but at any rate, you're amazing. Easy to color, changed it right up without any problem. That means any sentiment you want, in any color you want, as long as you've got a Bic, a Sharpie, a Copic, a Spectrum Noir, something, a Ozzie Andrews Couture Creations alcohol marker, as long as you have something that's going to let you do the coloring. Stay positive. And if you've got little lines in there that are bothering you, a quick little smudge. Boy, I laid this ink down heavy. Oh, that's too much of a smudge. Okay, I've got enough ink on here to last a lifetime. Too much of a smudge. I just want to get rid of some of those lines. And it's as it's drying. See, it's all dry. It won't move anymore. So with the alcohol ink, if you put too much ink down, you've got a little bit of time to smudge it around. But then it's going to dry. And now my Stay Positive. And it's completely dry. Nothing's going to come off of it. They're super easy to use. They give you every kind of sentiment you could ask for and just make things fun and simple. Let's see, let's try maybe yellow, but I've got a blue finger. Girlfriend got a blue finger. Oh well, all we can do is try. Dare to Dream. Okay. Oh, look at how soft this color is. It's beautiful. And cut it out. Then you've got Dare to Dream, Stay Positive. You're Amazing. In all different colors. Let's do one more. Let's do Be Real, Not Perfect. Ooh, what color do we want that in? Maybe a soft purple? Let's see what the purple looks like, right? So Be Real, Not Perfect. Ooh, Be a Voice, Not an Echo. Oh, that one's good. Oh, that's very dark. That's a darker purple than I wanted. See, it won't wipe off. That's a darker purple than I wanted. How about a super light blue? Super light blue? Let's see, is that super light blue? Oh, that's almost too light of a blue. Decisions, decisions, decisions. How about, let's see what color this is. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. So let's go back over Be Real, Not Perfect. And I bet I could take, see how I have a little bit of that purple right there that I didn't want to use? How much you want to make a bet? I might be able to get rid of some of it with my blender pen, just to get rid of some of it. And let's see if I can pull. Okay, I like it. Cut it out. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. So you get the idea of these. I should have gone a little further with my color, but that's okay. And zoop. And now I've got, and you just use them on anything you want, or like I said, you stack them. They'll make a beautiful card all by themselves, stacked onto pretty paper. But what if we wanted to take it one step further? What if we wanted to blend some colors on here? What if I wanted to do some ombres? How about a yellow? How about a yellow and a pink? Let's see, do we like this pink? That looks good to me. I'm okay with that pink. Let's try a yellow and a pink. So I'm going to do Today's a New Day. I'm going to do this one right here, Today's a New Day. And I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to do the top half of my Today's a New Day. Just the top half. Just the top. Then I'm going to come back with my pink and I'm going to do the bottom. Just the bottom. And then I'm going to take my yellow again and with that bullet nib, not the brush, I'm just going to go in here and where the demarcation line is, where the line is that separates the two colors, I'm just going to go in here and kind of scribble a little bit, make some little circles, and kind of blend those two together just a little bit. Just so it kind of softens that demarcation line. Just a little bit. And I instantly have made a two-tone. What if I did Be happy. And let's do be happy maybe in a yellow and a red. So I'll take my yellow with my brush and I'll just do the top part of it. Just the top. And remember, it's alcohol, so it's already dry. Then let's do the be happy part. And I'm going to just kind of meet it where the yellow is. In fact, this time you might even just leave a little bit of white space. Just a little bit of white space between them, because I'm going to come back with the bullet side of my yellow. And I'm just going to kind of mix them together. Let it dry. And mixing that yellow and the red, what color does that make? It makes an orange. So you kind of have this great little ombre. So it really is up to you. What do you want them to look like? You don't have to leave them white. There's no reason to leave them white. You can have so much fun playing with your colors. Do you have to have Ozzie Andrews pens? No, you have to have a Bic or a Sharpie. However, at $1.99 for an alcohol ink marker, that gives you that brush tip. They're pretty wonderful. But what about the black? Let's put these. Let's put those right there, and let's do the black. Now the black are a little bit different. It's still the same paper, and you're going to ink it the same, but it behaves a little differently because now you're coloring the white. And I want to show you what I mean by it behaves a little bit differently. Let's do Stay Positive. And I'm just going to do part of it. Give it a second to dry. Once you see that it's dry, oh, see, you can even see it in there. I think that you'll be able to see why it behaves differently. Is it dry? Yes, it is. Easy peasy. So for this price, kids can use these. Give them a Bic, a Sharpie for $1.99. Let them play with the alcohol markers because they're going to dry. They're not going to get all over their hands. It's not going to make a mess. But I think that this is a good way for you to see how the black differs. So it changes in the reflection because I have inked this side. This still looks a little, now this actually looks more matte than this because that's got color on it. When you're holding it perfectly without a reflection, it looks great. It looks amazing. But the minute you get that reflection on it, you can see that the blacks are not the same. It's kind of like when you're wearing, when you buy yourself a pair of black pants or a black shirt, and you're trying to match the black colors. There's so many different shades of white in the world, and So many different shades of black that when you have to match blacks, it's almost impossible to get the exact same color unless the two garments were made to go together. And that's kind of this problem, is that you've got the flat black here, and then you've added a color over the top, which has now changed it. So how do you deal with that? It's easy. You just have to color the entire thing in your red or your pink or your blue or whatever color you're using. So I'm going to color my entire area that's black. And that way it's all gonna match. So it's still drying. Can you see it's still just a little bit wet? But as the alcohol evaporates, now we're good. So now if I cut it out, I'm not gonna have the difference between the backgrounds. See, now it's all the same. Unlike this one, where it's different because I colored the entire background with the pink, it's all the same. So if what color red did I use? If I came back with this one, and I finished it, and I let it dry. See, now it's all the same again. So it's different than the white, because the white, you are trying to color the entire background. You're trying to get rid of that white. But with the black, it's really the letters that you're trying to color, but you change the look of the paper when you add the color on top. So just remember to color the entire thing. Can you ombre with the black? Absolutely you can. Let's grab that yellow and let's do, I changed my mind. Let's do that super light blue, and let's try the purple and see what we get. So super light blue. Oh, too light. It's got to be darker than that. So I'm going to color my Dare to Dream. I've got a little bit of blue. Can you see just a little bit of blue? Heck, you could even leave it like that, but I'm going to add a little bit of purple. A little bit of purple. And then I can come back with my blue and just the little nib here, the little bullet point, and just kind of go down the center. And bam, it's done. Now I probably didn't color enough of my black down here. Because I need to color all the black. All right. Dare to Dream. That is what it looks like when it's just white. That's what it looks like when we change it up. Now all we have to do is cut it out. So can you see how versatile these can be? Being that you don't have to leave them the way they are. You have options, oodles of options. And because it is a slight oops on the packaging and they're going to have to remanufacture them, well, we might as well take advantage and save. When you get all 3 sets for $5.99, really, buy one for you, buy one for your friend, buy one for your grandkids to use. This is an easy way for them to add sentiments onto with their card making with you, or if your kids are learning to card make or you're doing something for Girl Scouts. These are so inexpensive and you get so many of them that you can just use them again and again and again, and you've got so many different sayings. And you just have to decide what works for the project you're doing. You don't have to conform. You can create. Ooh, that might be a t-shirt. Don't conform, create. You don't have to just stick with the plain. You can make it beautiful. You can make it unique. You can keep them just black and white. Maybe you need just black and white, but maybe for somebody else you want some color. Maybe somebody's got a little splash of color in their life. Now you can change them to make them to fit your needs. But there's also something about the black that I like. I really like, actually. Let's see. So on this Be Real Not Perfect, I'm going to do this Be Real Not Perfect. Because you have on the markers, because you have a bullet point on the markers, that means you can go in there and just color very specific areas because you're not using that brush tip. That brush tip is wide and it gives you, it gives you a lovely way to put lots of color down. You can use it upright with that fine tip, but it tends to, it's malleable. It wants to brush, which is why you've also got this bullet point. Let's pick a couple colors. Let's do a pink, and let's do a blue, and let's do a yellow, and we'll try that purple, or no, maybe we'll try the green and see what that looks like. So I'm going to just highlight out with my bullet point. I'm just going to literally draw right over the R and fill all that color in. Then I'm going to come in with my green. That green looks too light. Let's get a darker green. Let's try this one. Just add my color to my E. So can you see what I'm doing? I'm literally coloring in each individual letter just with my markers. Let's do my A. And my L. I'm going to leave the rest of it white because when I trim it out, now that Be Real, that real pops Everything else I'm going to leave white, except for that one word that I want to really pop. You could do the be happy. And literally in no time, you've completely changed the whole look of these. Be happy. To me, that looks happy. If I had the birthday ones, the happy birthday in all the fun colors. And because I've just done the letters, I don't have to worry about coloring the whole black background because all I focused on was coloring the letters. So, I knew I wanted these when I saw them, and I bought them right away. I went right online the minute she released them, and I bought them all. Well, I bought as many as I could get. But they weren't exactly, now I had no intention of laminating them and using a laminator with them, but I knew it was one of the options that you would have for them. But they are printed on a paper that is not toner based. So we're making lemons out of lemonade and passing the savings on to you. We are only selling them in the bundle. That's it, bundle only. So you will get all three packs. Let's put those there. You'll get all 3 packs. And each pack has 12 sheets. No, 8 sheets. Is it 8 sheets? Wait a minute. That's 3. So you get, 4 sheets. Gosh, Stacy, that it's too early for math. So 4, 8, 12 for $5.99. And again, because you can do so much with them and because they are being reprinted and they will be on toner paper, you'll be able to get them eventually, they will be at full price. If you're not so worried about the toner part, I would buy 2 sets, one for you, one for your friend, one for the grandkids, because you will use them, you will have them, and you will never get them at that price again. Promise you that. All right, so moving on. Let me clean up my mess a minute. Well, under the guise of cleaning up my mess. Red goes there, and purple goes there, and blue, and pink and blue. Ta-da! Yay! And let me wipe down my... All right, let's talk about Ozzie Andrews product. Because again, because today is a new day. Yesterday was a bit rough. Today's a new day. Let's talk about Ozzie Andrews product. Now, we have had similar, this is the second run of the stamp die stencil combos. This is the second run of them. These are brand new designs. These have just released. Nobody has them. I'm a worldwide launch with them. And again, they're amazing. What do you get? There's 4 different sets. They're all florals. These were a dented can type of product before because I believe if I'm right, the stamp didn't come off the liner. You could pull it off one side, but not the other. Obviously, that's no longer a problem. That's been fixed. You've got the stamp. You've got the coordinating die with lots of little extras. And then for easy coloring, you've got the layering stencils. Now, I know that there are companies out there that sell the stamp as one item. So let's just say $10.99 for the stamp, and then the die is $10.99 or $12.99, and then they sell the stencils separately, which are another $10 or $11 or $12, and so you have to buy them individually, not as a set. Ozzie Andrew has always done these for $20 a set for all of it. You get the stencils, you get the die, even all the little extras in the dies, all the little extras in the stamps, all the extra little sentiments that you're going to get. And it's $20 a set. And when these came out a second time, I said, sign me up, because I just love the concept of them and I love the price of them. They are totally affordable. There are 4 different flowers. 2 of these flowers are 100% correct. Everything is 100% the way it's supposed to be. And 2 of these flowers, well, they need a little extra love. But extra love equates to better price. Now, I didn't know that they were going to need extra love when I bought them, but they're here now, and we have figured they need a little extra love. And if crafters have anything, it's a lot of love and creativity and a way to make them work. So I'm going to start with these 2 because these are the 2 that need the extra love. Okay, so let me show you. And again, they're $20 a set, but no, you're not going to pay that. I'll get to that later. Let me show you how these work. All right, I think we'll start maybe with this one. Yeah, we're going to start with this one. So I have got the azalea set, and the die, and the 4 stencils. Now, I do like that Ozzie Andrew was able to etch his stencils. You've got, down at the bottom, it says Stencil 1, and as long as you can read the Stencil 1, then you know you've got it face up properly and it's in the right position. If it's backwards and you can't read Stencil 1, then you know it's wrong. And there's Stencil 1, Stencil 2, Stencil 3, and Stencil 4. These stencils are a little bit larger than the actual stamp, or a little bit smaller than the actual stamp. So you may have to rotate your stencil. It's not necessarily going to lay over it perfectly, and you're going to be able to stencil everything. You may have a piece here that you have to move over here. You know, they've put the cuts where they could fit them to keep the price affordable. So I'm going to show you, and we're going to start by stamping first. So let's grab a block and a gush mat, and let's put my die there so I don't lose it. And okay, so I've got my stamp. It's a clear stamp. I'm putting it on a block. You can use your stamp positioner, whatever makes your heart happy. I haven't used this stamp yet, so I might want to stamp off. We'll just see how good of an impression I get. You can also take an eraser and kind of go over the top of it. You can wash this in a little bit of dishwashing detergent. There's just a slight film over it from being put on the liner. a lot of times I'll just stamp off. Now I'm going to use Hero Hues India ink, and the reason I'm going to use Hero Hues India ink is because it does not move with any kind of a liquid. You can do water, you can do alcohol inks, and it doesn't smear. What it does do is it can stain a clear stamp. So when I'm done with this, this may look black, but if it wipes clean, it's done. It's just that the ink has stained it. For me, I like having it stained because right now it's very hard for me to see what's what. But once you ink it, now I can see much better what's what. So let's stamp it and see what I get. Being that it's a brand new stamp, I might need to stamp off a little bit. I'm doing all over pressure, nice pressure. I'm not doing chest compressions. You don't need to revive the stamp. It's going to be just fine, but I do want all nice all over pressure. And, oh, not bad. And let's ink it up again. And like I said, over time you may find that your stamp becomes, the lines just stay black, and that's perfectly fine. As long as the stamp wipes clean, you're able to put any color over the top of it that you want, even though the lines are black. So no chest compressions, but good all over pressure. 1, 2, 3, ABC is usually my go-to, and then I pull up. I've got 2 nice impressions. I'm good with that. Okay. Let's put that over there. And let's lay that right on top of that and move on. Okay, so I've got my stamped image down, and depending on how much of a colorer you are, it's up to you how much you want to do. But he's given you the stencils to help you, to make your life easier. These stencils are going to lay over the top and allow you to do easier coloring. So I've got the 4 stencils. And let's go to stencil 1, which is right here. And now I just have to figure out where it lays. All right. Perfect. It goes right there. And let me get a little washi tape. And a piece there. This is a small stencil, and I'm not doing the entire thing, so I just need a little bit of washi tape to hold it in place. But what I want to show you, in fact, I'm going to move this piece of washi tape so you can see it. What I want to show you is that every flower is not open. There's a flower right here that's not part of this stencil. There is a stencil that will let you do this flower, but it's on a different one because there wasn't enough space. So you just line up your stencil where it goes, and then let's do this. And how about we do a super soft pink? And I'm just going to go in there with my brush, and I'm just going to do a super soft pink. Anywhere my stencil is open. So that's good. That's just super soft pink. Now I can pull off stencil 1. And bam, it's colored. Right? That's good. That's easy. We like that. Now let's find stencil 2. This is stencil 2, and it says stencil 2, and I'm going to layer it right over and line it up. Does that look good? All right, I'm going to go with that. Put some washi tape down. And stencil 2 has a little more detail to it. You really don't have to think too hard, which is really nice. Now, I'm not going to change my color ink. I'm just going to continue with my bubble gum. These are Hero Hues inks. They're sold as cubes. We have the exclusive on them where you can buy a cube at a time. I have 24 colors, and soon, really soon, I will have the next release of 4 colors. There will be 16 new cubes for 2022, and they are done production. I'm very happy. So I did the pink. I did a super light pink, but now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a dark pink. Same color. So it's a tone-on-tone look. Same color, but I'm going to darken it up. And this stencil that I have put down has masked anything that I don't want, or that Ozzy Andrew didn't want you to color. So I will have a light pink and a dark pink azalea. I'm assuming azaleas come in pink because, well, the picture shows it, but I love flowers. I just don't know what they all are. So I can go in here and I can really add some color. Really get in there and add some color. I could have done two-tone, sure. Maybe I'll do two-tone later. But I want you to see how one color ink, no matter whose color it is, if you lay it down light to begin on a layering, anything, a layering stencil, a layering stamp, start light to begin with and then come back and use the same color and intensify the saturation, because that's what we're doing. We're really saturating it. Now I've put the detail on my flowers. This is really easy peasy. Now let's find our next stencil. Stencil 3, right here, stencil 3. Okay, and I'm gonna, again, kind of find where it lines up. And on this stencil, things are cut here and there. So I can line this piece up and ink that. But I don't want to ink over here where it's open. That doesn't go. That actually belongs down here. So when you get to some parts of the stencil, you have to move it around to find the pieces that it goes with. Because the stencil is not, the stamp is wider than the stencil, so they had to find places to put the actual cuts. So let's say I start with these two right here. So I've got my stencil kind of even off my paper. So I'm just going to do those two right there. And let's grab my green. little bit of green. And I can go on my paper. If you're going to die cut, you can test it right on your paper. And let's put my green down. Okay, so I've stenciled there. You can also see that the stencil has lined up with these leaves right here, but it has not lined up with those leaves there. This one's good to go too. So let me add the color to that. Okay, so I've got my color. Now I can pick my stencil up and see I've got some of my leaves colored. Now I can come back and line the bottom leaves up. The stencils are numbered, and so as long as you can see what stencil, keep them in order, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that you can read the stencil part of it where it says stencils. See? If you're doing it backwards, if you can't read the word stencil, turn it around. All right, let's add a little color to this. All right, we look good. Pick it up. Bam. And then stencil number 4, our last stencil here. So I'm going to line it up to get the background done on this one flower, and then I'd slide it over to add the detail to the flower. So I'm going to start here to get my flower with the light pink, and then I'm going to slide it over to add the dark pink. And I've also got my stems. So let's do my flower first. So if coloring has always been a challenge for you, this is coloring made simple. Let's get another piece of washi. Definitely coloring made simple. And let's do my light pink. And remember, I want to keep it light, so I'm tapping off some color in and then kind of tap some color off because I started with a super light pink. Okay, we're good. Light pink done. And then let's move it over to the side and line it up. And this time we're going to do a dark pink. Okay, dark pink done. So my flower is just about done. And last but not least, my stems. And I think for my stems, I'm just going to put a little bit of yellow. As a base. And then come back with my green. You don't have to have a lot of colors to do this. Okay. Oh, I missed a leaf. Let's go back. Leaf number 3. I missed this one up here. See that one right there? I missed it. It's part. It is right. It's right there. So if you miss something, just put your stencil back on and go. All right, I'm done. But you're saying, Stacy, there's a few pieces over here you did not do. I know. Welcome to your dented can. Manufacturer forgot to cut those pieces out of the stencil. Didn't happen. What are we going to do? Well, this is where lemonade comes in. We have a couple options. We do. We have, wait a minute, green? Yeah, green. Yellow? Yeah, yellow. we have a couple options. They're all leaves. So I need you to color those in on your own. How are we going to do that? Well, Ozzy Andrew and Sizzix wanted to make it easy for you. Sizzix? Yes, Sizzix. They wanted to make it easy for you. I had this product, and when we saw what happened here, I talked to Sizzix and I talked to Ozzy Andrew. And they're oil pastels. They're not chalky, they're oil. And I said, I need something that's going to let the customers go in there and color this because there's no stencil. Could you do it with the inks? Absolutely. Without question you could. But we're going to give these to you for free if you buy all 4 of the stamp stencil die combinations from Ozzy Andrew. That means you're going to get all 4, and those are already going to be value priced because 2 of them are a dented can. But if you get them, you're going to get this set for free. So the minute you get your package, you're actually going to be able to start coloring. How do these work? Well, they're as easy as possible. So they are an oil pastel, and yes, they do actually dry. Here's your color palette. I didn't ask them to put this color palette together. They've had this product for a long time. It just happens that it is perfectly floral. Happy day for me. And I'm going to take a light touch, less is more. Less is more. I'm going to go in there, and they're almost like a crayon. They're almost like a marabou crayon, but they're not. This is an oil pastel. All I have to do is go in there and draw some color. I don't have to use Gamsol. I take my little stubby and I just move it around. Because it is an oil pastel, it is creamy. And I just move it around. Then I'm going to grab a little darker color and put that in there. Less is more because it goes a long way. And I'm going to put that color. Who would have ever thought that these would, I mean, I had them. I called, I said, what can we do? And Ellison, ta-da, it's Taylor, said, hey, we can make this work. We can do this. I said, I want to offer them as a free gift if they purchase this other product because they're going to need to go in there and fix. And ta-da, it's done. Oil pastels are super easy to use. Super easy. You literally just color. So I'm just going to scribble a little bit. A little goes a long way. So I've just scribbled a little bit right there. You take a stump, or if you, a Q-tip for that matter. The stumps are nice because you can get into finer areas, but if you've got Q-tips and you want to use that, or you want kids to play with these, they don't make a mess. You don't have to use anything, no Gamsol at all to move them. They don't smear. Okay, I've put some color in there. You're going, but that doesn't look very leafy. Well, give me a moment. I'm going to take the darker, more leafy tone and add a little bit of that. Just down the sides. Take my stump. Blend that in. Oh, somebody's calling me. And I'm starting to get leafy. Now, I want you to see how strong the color is. This is black. I'm going to put a dot and a dot. I want you to see, can you see the two dots that I put? I mean, they're little. Those are little dots. And I'm going to color. Look at already how much color that black, that little dot is. I'm just going to take that black. Well, I got a little bit of yellow on this one. Well, it is what it is. I mean, look at that little dot. Look at the smear it made. A little dot will go a long way. But then I just blend it on in. And before you know it, I've got shading and shadows. Fact of the matter is, I could color this entire thing in nothing but my oil pastels. I could go in and scribble my yellow. Get a new stumpy that doesn't have black on it. Move that yellow around. No Gamsol needed. These are not colored pencils. Just kind of move that color everywhere. If you have to add a little more, you add a little more. But all I did was kind of smear it. Colored with like a crayon, a light touch. And then I could go in and see, I'm coloring just like with a crayon. But then I go in and I smear it. And I can add a little more. And a little more yellow. And just kind of blend them together. Don't know what an azalea looks like. Probably not this. But I'm okay. Flowers can be any color you want them to be. more color down here. And it's not a chalk. So it's not like you've got to keep wiping off. It's not a chalk. And you can just keep blending and moving. And in no time at all, you've colored with oil pastels. And I didn't use my stencil at all. So the minute you get these, if you do the I Want It All purchase, the minute you get them, you're going to be able to stamp and start coloring right away because we're giving you oil pastels. I can just continue. Super easy, super fun, kid friendly, and well, free. That way you can go in and fix here. But then you can also come back and do here. Up to you what you like to do. You don't have to choose. You'll get to do it all. You have options. And then we can die cut. So I'm going to put this to the side and we'll die cut in a little bit. I'm going to move to the next one that has a little bit of an oopsie problem. That would be the rose. So let's put these up here and let me talk to you about the rose. So same thing, you've got the beautiful stamp and you can see that the stamp is obviously bigger. It is bigger than the stencils. So you're going to have to move your stencil. There might be this piece, this little leaf over here, maybe up here, and this leaf over here might be down there. You may have to move your stencils to find where they go, but it will cover, you will be able to stencil your entire, well, almost your entire, on this one, image. And then he's also given you different sentiments and little add-ons because there was room on the stamp. Absolutely. So I'm going to take my stencils out and we're going to do this one. And this is Climbing Rose. Let's get some washi tape out. And my stamp. They come off really nice off the liner. That was the problem last time. You just never know what you're going to get until you get it. And I certainly cannot see putting these in the trash. I mean, really, for a manufacturer, that's the option. Trash them or find a workaround. See if you can find somebody who's able to show a workaround and then give them a phenomenal price. And that is what we've decided to do. I cannot see throwing these in the trash. That would break my heart. We are crafters. We are the innovators of workaround. We're the people who put the creative in creativity. I mean, the innovation that's come up from the paper crafting world is crazy. When a crafter wants to get something done, they're going to find a way to make it happen. That's just as true can be. All right, let's see how I go, because this is the first time I'm stamping. 1, 2, 3, ABC. What do you think? No chest compressions. You think it's good? Yeah, not bad. Let's do it one more time because I've got room. Using my Hero Arts India ink. Just put my finger in it because it does not move with liquid, with water, with alcohol ink markers. It stays just where it's supposed to be. It doesn't get schmeary. And yes, schmear. You got to add the schmear. The H, was it You gotta add the H in the schmear. Schmear is also what you put on a bagel. Yum. It's code word for cream cheese. Okay. Yeah, good, right? Yay. Beautiful image, right? Beautiful image. I mean, some places would sell this stamp by itself for $11.99. Then the die, another $12, and then the stencil, another $12. But nope. Even at regular price, Aussie Andrew only does them for 20 bucks. You gotta love a man who understands we like value. Okay, so now I've got my stencils, and I've got Stencil 3, Stencil 4, Stencil 1, Stencil 2. And how do I know what they are? Because I can read it. Let's see, I can get it on I can read Stencil 1, Stencil 2, Stencil 3, Stencil 4. I have a little bit of stencil envy because he's able to pay to get his stencils marked and etched. I'm looking into seeing how much it would cost to have me do that for my stencils. So here's Stencil 1. I'm going to line it up. It's kind of at a crooked angle. So a stencil doesn't have to be straight on to work. You got to find where it is that it works and then tape it down. Don't think that it has to be perfectly centered and straight. You got to find where it works and then lay it down. All right, let's do this in reds because it's a rose, right? So I'm going to do super soft red, just like I did with the pink. Super soft. And if you didn't want to do it on your craft mat, I'm tapping out on my craft mat. You could just tap out on a piece of paper. I just want a nice, light, all over color. All right, done. Nice, light, all over color. And look it, just like that. You're like, that's my kind of coloring, Stacy. I'm with you right now. Then we have stencil number 2, which looks to be leaves. So I can tell you that I see that those leaves go there. So let's tape this one down. This one I'm going to have to rotate maybe a couple times because the leaves are kind of all over the stencil so that everything will fit. So I've got these leaves right now, and those leaves are good to go. But there's openings down here that don't match anything, so I want to keep my ink away from that. Let's pull out my green. And again, I'm going to do a super light green. And you're like, why are you doing light colors? Because I know that I'm going to layer over the top of this and I want the contrast, so I'm going to do super dark colors over the top. All right, there's my first set of leaves. Now let's pull it up and find my next set of leaves. I've got these little 2 right here, which clearly would go there. But see, now these leaves have moved all the way up. So let's just tape it on down and do those 2. I didn't even have to add any ink to my, great. And then I've got this one down here. So this one down here is going to do everything here and everything over here. It's the biggest one, and it's going to let me do the most. Okay, super light. So that's it for Stencil 3, or Stencil 2. I've used everything on there. I used this one first, this one second, and this one third. I've used everything on there. Now let's move to Stencil number 3, which is here. And again, I might have to move things around a little bit to make it all work. Just like I did before. Let's put some washi tape down. Oh, SMS peeps are getting here. I can hear them. Okay, I'm going to think that that's pretty good. And stencil number 3 is masking off what I don't want to color. And I'm going to color these leaves first like I did last time. And I'm going to use the same green, only I'm going to go much darker. So if you only have a few colors of ink, don't feel you can't do this. It's all about the saturation that you use. So now I've got it highly saturated. And now you see the detail. You would think I used 2 different color inks, but you saw I didn't. I'm using the same green, the same red. Let's do these 2 little guys up here and get their little details in. Oh, I got some green in there. Oh well. I got my brush in there, a little bit of green in there because it wasn't masked fully, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. And now I've got my big one to do, which is the biggest one on the stencil. And let's line that up. I think that looks good. We're just going to go for it. Worst case scenario, it's only paper. Let's get some dark in there. Some contrasting color. Oh yeah. Okay. And my last stencil is stencil number 4. And that's going to add my detail. So now when you're doing this at home, it's going to go much quicker than me teaching you. You'll be able to get through this very, very fast. And let's bring back my red, because that's what I started my... Now you could absolutely use different colors. You could layer your colors differently than I'm doing. I just want you to see that one color ink can do the job. And this time I'm not going to tap off. I want that dark color. Oh yeah, I want that dark color. Okay. Wow, right? Looks great, except for the missing places where there's no color. A little bit here, a little bit on the stem, a leaf or two. Again, the manufacturer accidentally forgot to cut the stencils completely. So you are going to have to go in and add a little more color. You have to add a little bit more than this one. This one just had a few little pieces over here. This one you're going to have to do a little bit more, but not to worry. You've got your free oil pastels because you did the I Want It All bundle. And I just go in there and I put a little color, put a little color, put a little color. Everywhere I see white, I know it's a leaf. Grab my stubby. Smear my color where I need it to go. No Gamsol needed. These are not colored pencils. And instant poof. Pretty much immediately you've got color there that is easy to do, doesn't rub off, doesn't require any extra. And then I want to take this more olivey color and add some of this in here. And I'm just coloring. I'm just kind of scribbling little pieces. A little goes a long way though. Just remember that. Most people add too much because they don't realize how far that oil pastel will pull. So these oil pastels are going to last you quite some time. And we'll have them open stock too. So if you just want the oil pastels, and they're inexpensive on their own, they're $5.99 is the price, and that's what we'll have them for, unless you do the I Want It All. And instant presto poof, you fixed your mistake. Well, it's not your mistake. It's an opportunity for creativity, is what it is. So I want to show you. Let's take that black again. And I want to show you what I mean by pulling the color. So there's my little dot of black. My little dot of black. Look how far that little dot actually smears to. So a little goes a long way. A tiny little dot of green. So you can see you need very little, especially when you're working on very little areas, small little areas. But I fixed it. I did. And could I go in there and color this whole thing? What happens if you don't want to use the stencils? I just scribbled. And now I move it around because you saw how far a little of it moves. And when you move it around with a stumpy, or if you want to, you can absolutely move it around with a Q-tip. The stubbies are a little bit nicer when you're not doing such a big area and you need to get into the nooks and crannies of something. Q-tip will work just fine. So now I've got it colored. And now I can go in and I just drew around, stubby, and just blend it out. This is easy peasy, whether you're coloring by the stencils or you're using the oil pastels on their own. This is for every level of crafter. Newbie to the most advanced, and all of you are going to be successful with it. All of you. I mean, you see, I'm just really just moving the color everywhere. So I'm there, and I could even add maybe a little bit more on the darker. If I wanted a little more shading and shadow. There's no right, there's no wrong, and it's only white paper. Ooh, little dot here and there, a little dot will do ya. Poof! Bam! Totally different look. Completely different look. But both achievable. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. And all I had to do was go in there and fix a little here and add a little there. But you've totally got this. You're saying, what about the leaves? Well, let's do the leaves quickly and then we're going to move on. So where's my green? Now, how do you sharpen these? Let's say you need to sharpen them and you want to change the color. There's this sharpener. It's sandpaper and it has oodles of little sandpapers on them that you just tear off when this one doesn't do anymore. All this is compressed paper. And you just sand it until the old color comes off. And you have a new nib. Ta-da! Start all over again. And when this is not, when you've used up all the sandpaper, you just tear and there's another one underneath. So we normally sell the stubbies and the sandpaper with our Gamsol kit, but I was able to get it in just the stubbies and the sander without the Gamsol because you don't need the Gamsol with this. Gamsol is also known as mineral spirits, and we use it when we use colored pencils. This, no Gamsol required. Use a little bit more. So I've got the beginnings of my leaves. Now let's use kind of that more leafy color. And you can see I drew it on one side because I need to leave room to pull that color. If I colored the whole leaf the same, all this olivey green, you would have no shading and no shadow. You got to give yourself some negative space to move the color. Negative space is that open space. Got to leave yourself some room to actually move the color. If you color the whole leaf the same, well, you're just going to have a flat looking leaf, and I don't want a flat looking leaf. I want something that's got some dimension to it. So I'm gaining dimension. And now, if I want to, I can add, where's my black one? Right here. I can add just a little bit of black, or I could add a little bit of the yellowy color to it. Just a dot. Literally a dot. And let's see what happens. Let's see if that's enough. Because all I want to do, oh yeah, it's plenty. Look at that little dot, how much it went out to. But I want to blend that in so it doesn't look so black anymore. It just looks like a shadow. Ooh, I got a lot on there. Too much. So let's come back in. Let's add a little of this green back in. Change it back to a little bit of a green. Nope, that's not my green. There's my green. Better. A little black goes a long way. But it helps to add a little bit more definition. So you have your options. Which way would you prefer to do it? And I still have the die that will cut it out. But we must move on. So let's go to our next. Let's go to our next. And this is the peony. Peony. So you've got the dies, you've got the stamp, and you've got the stencils. Now the peony, nothing's wrong with it. Everything is where it's supposed to be. That makes my heart a little happy. So I'm going to do the peony for you so you can see that everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. Okay, so my inks. Put my die over here. Let's bring over my stamp block. I'm creating a little bit of a mess, but that is so typical Stacy. So let's do the peony. Pulls off the liner like it's supposed to. Plus you get sending you sunshine and glad you are here and so proud of you and all, extra little sprigs and pretty little things. And I've got my 4 stencils. And let's rock it out. Okay. 1. Good. Ooh, that was good. 2. There we go. ABC 1, 2, 3 and up. Done. Finished. Move that over there and put this back there. So I've got my peonies stamped and ready to go. Start with my stencil 1. Let's find stencil 1. This is stencil 2. This is stencil 1. Do I have it facing? Yes, stencil 1. There we go. There we go. Line it on up. That looks good. Oh, tape it on down. My stencil is kind of crooked. It's not squared up. That's okay. So piece of washi there, piece of washi here. What color should we do this in? How about we two-tone it? Should we try and two-tone it? All right, let's try and two-tone. Let's see what happens. Let's start with a yellow. What is the worst that can happen? So let's go in here and let's add a little bit of little light yellow, not too dark. Just to make sure it's not white. Okay. Stencil 1, done. Done. Easy peasy. Stencil 2. That's stencil 3. That's stencil 4. Stencil 2. Right here. Okay, let's get it lined up. I think that's it. Some washi tape. And let's go in with some pink. And let's just go all the way around. And I don't know how dark a pink I want. I don't know really what a peony actually, what colors they're supposed to be, so we're just gonna try and make it pretty. Maybe I do a little darker down here, and a little lighter up there, just to give some color contrast. All right. Done. Now, there is this little, I don't know exactly what that little piece goes to. I suppose we'll find out. When we're done. But so far, that looks pretty good, right? So, now let's go to stencil 3, which is here, and that's going to be all the leaves. So I'm going to go to my green. And let's find some of these leaves. Well, I can tell that these right here go right there. That's pretty obvious. So I'm just going to line those up, even though it's kind of at a weird angle. See, look at that. My stencil is all the way over here when all I need to do is this little piece. And that's because the stencils are smaller than the overall stamp size. To get it to you for the price we got it to you at, and when I say we, I mean Couture Creations, they kind of had to be, well, creative. And let's just do a light green. So I can add some contrast there. Done. And then, let's see, this one definitely goes there. So let's line that one up. And a little bit of light green. Done. And then this one is the big one that does the bulk of it, goes there. So this one has a lot of the opening and does the bulk of it. The two that were kind of separate were these two, but this one does gonna do the bulk of the green. And some light green. Done. And then our detail work. So this is going to add all of our little veins in our stems. So let's do the big one first. Oh, out of washi. So I'm going to do the bulk of the green stems in just one part of the stencil. So see the bulk of them? And I'm going to go darker with my green. Just so you can see, you don't have to have every single color out there. Everybody's on a crafty budget, but you still should be able to do your hobby. Look at that with one color. One color. And then my stencil number, oh, I am on stencil number 4. So now I've got to do, these obviously go right there. Done. And you're saying, oh my gosh, that looks so good, but what about the stems? Stacy, you said this stencil has everything, nothing got missed. I did say that, and I meant it. The stems are all the way back on stencil number 1. There they are. You're like, are you kidding? No, there they are. And all I have to do is line them up. Of course, easier said than done. Nope, that's the right way. So is it this way? No. Gosh, I did it the other day. Nope. Okay. It's got to go this way. Oh, ta-da! Yay! Okay. I just had to find it. Okay. But look at how off the stencil is off the paper. I just had to find it. I knew it was there. And let's do just a little bit of yellow maybe. Be careful. And let's just do a super deep green if I can get it done. Okay, so to me, this looks complete and finished and beautiful, but there is this little piece, this little piece right there, and I don't know where it goes. Is that crazy? It has to, does it go right there? Okay, well, okay. It does go right there. It goes in the middle, right there. I don't know. I just would not have assumed. I don't know that I wanted to go right there. No, okay, that's where it says it goes. I was happy without, okay, I found where the piece goes, but look at how pretty is that, right? And what if I just left it, what if I started with white? And let's line this one up. That looks good. And maybe we do pink. So I'm going to leave the base white. So stencil 2. I'm not starting with stencil 1. And then stencil 3. Let's do the big pieces first. And my green. And just a nice soft light green. I could even introduce some yellow if I wanted. And then let's do the ones up at the top. Move my stencil around, find the ones right there. Line it up. That looks good. A little bit of green. A little bit of yellow. Just to warm it up a little bit. My stencil number 4. Let's do the big one first. Where's my stencil mark? There we go. There we go. Line it up. Down. Go with a darker green. Same green, just more saturation. That looks good. And then the two at the top. That looks good. And then the only thing I need my stencil 1 for is to come back and do my stems. And I'm going to leave it, oh, it's a little off. I'm going to leave it white. Options. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to do my last one. And I'm going to stencil the last one, but then I'm going to color it totally different. Totally different. So let's bring the last one over. And that is my tulips. Again, tulips, A-okay. You got the die, whoop, you got the stamps, you got all the extra words, you've got dreams, and let's see, can I see them? Gosh, dream big, chase your dreams, sweet dreams. Oh, he's giving you lots of hope and dreams. I get it. And then I've got my stencils. So even if they're, the last two have nothing, there's no challenges at all. There's no reason to explore a little extra creativity. And at 20 bucks, they're a great value. But for the I want it all, we're gonna make it an exceptional value. They come right off the liner. That's a happy day for me. Let's bring over my block and my gush pad. Put it on my block, get my gush pad over. And let's go ABC 1, 2, 3. Let's ink it up. And I'm going to stencil this one really quick because then I want to move on. So 1, 2, 3, ABC, 1, 2, 3, no chest compressions. And for a first time stamp, oh, lovely. So I'm going to put that one there, and I'm going to stamp another piece of paper twice because we are going to change how we are coloring. So I'm going to stencil that one, and then I'm going to color these. Boy, I just get my fingers in everything. 1, 2, 3, ABC, and good. Oh yeah, good. I highly recommend India ink if you like to use colors, if you like to ink things up or use water colors or Tombow markers or Copics or alcohol markers or Ozzie Andrews markers, because it just does not move. So I'm going to set this one aside because we'll come back to it. I want to do my stencils super fast. I've got my 4 stencils. Let's see, that's stencil number 1. Stencil number 1 is going to do 2 of my tulips. And I think I'm going to do these in yellow. So to clean your brush, look at, you just rub it off to the side. That's all the cleaning I do. And then my color is back again. So I want to keep this a soft yellow. So layer number 1 does those two, and then it does part of the little one down here. It is stencil number 1, right? Glasses, please. Yep, stencil number 1. Okay. Oh, it's the little one right here. There we go. Line it up. There we go. Just a little bit of, done. Okay, but stencil number 1 also has detail on it. So are these the detail for these two? Why, yes, yes it is. So I'm going to pull those up here. Line them up. That looks good. I'm going to go with a much darker yellow. And just really saturate that color. So I've got 2 started. Let's go to stencil number 2. I was a little off on that one, but okay. Let's go to stencil number 2. This would be stencil number 2. That's going to let me put my light color down here. There we go. My light color, just so it's not white anymore. Done. And now I move it to do my last tulip down here. Done. So now I've got my tulips almost finished. I've got my detail on this one. So you can see it's the detail. It's got all the extra little bits that really make it pop. Let's line it on up. Done. And my little one here. Done. Whew. Speed coloring. And now let's find my stencil number 3. Stencil number 3 says it right down on the corner. Let's line it all up. Oh, love stencil number 3. It does all my leaves at once. Well, that's a happy day. Grab my green. Go light at first because I'm going to do all, look at, I'm going to do basically all my leaves are all in that one stencil. Yay. Light green. Done. And now my dark green. Line it on up. I think that looks pretty good. And now dark green, which is the same color. I'm just putting the color down heavier. So I didn't have 6 different colors of inks to play with. I had a yellow and I had a green, but I was still able to make the layering happen. Bam. All right, so let's move on. I want to color these a different way. I'm going to bring over my alcohol ink markers from Aussie Andrew. So I've got my, there's 108 of them, 108 different colors. They are $1.99 each. We have the all 108 colors, but you can buy them open stock. It's whatever works for you. I think okay, I want to see what those colors look like. Oh, that's the color. And then let's see what this yellow is. That's my arm. Nope, I think I'm going to stick with my original yellow. All right, I'm going to alcohol ink these. And I'm going to use these colors. I've got a gray, a yellow, and a blue. And alcohol inking is not as hard as you think with alcohol markers. It is not as hard as you think. Most of the time they want you to stay within a color family. So I would never mix a yellow, a blue, and a gray, ever. They want you to stick within, you know, colors of yellows. So families of 3 that give you a highlight, a midtone, and a shadow. And you would buy 3 yellows and that makes a color blend. And that is how Copic works, absolutely. I want to play with these because I want to play with them and I want to make them look beautiful and I don't want to conform to the rules. I want to be creative. And the one thing you need to know is pay no attention to the numbers on the markers. Aussie Andrew did that. There is no rhyme or reason to his numbering system. What can I say? I love the man, but I'm like, dude, couldn't you have at least gone 1, 2, 3, or B1, B, I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to his numbering, so don't try to buy them based off the numbering. So I'm actually gonna start with a gray. And I'm gonna add a little bit of gray to the bottoms of my tulips. Because I want a more modern take on a tulip. So alcohol ink markers don't ever leave the lines that you get with markers. That's the beautiful thing about them. And I am not using any special paper. They dry super fast and they don't leave those lines. They leave a beautiful smooth finish. And the thing about alcohol ink markers is you have to keep them wet. It's all about keeping them wet. So I'm going to put the gray down, just a little bit of gray, because like I said, I want a little more contemporary feel to my tulips. And I think the blue and the yellow will look good. We just won't know until we know. Then I'm going to take my yellow marker and I'm going to come in and I'm going to color my whole tulip, including over the top of that gray. And this is where having that brush tip is so lovely. And I'm just going to color in all my tulips. Super fast, super easy. And I'm not going pin to pin to pin. Okay, that's where I'm at. Now I'm going to bring back that gray. And put a little bit of that yellow down again, keep it wet. And now put a little bit of that gray down towards the bottom again. And a little bit of that yellow again. And I'm going to force a blend. What do I mean by force a blend? Where I've kept the paper so wet that the ink has no other option but to start to spread and to blend into each other. Alcohol ink markers are super easy if you keep them wet. So I added a little yellow down there. Gonna come back with a little bit of my gray. Gonna come back with my yellow. And I'm going to force that gray to blend out. Just by keeping my paper wet. A little bit of yellow here just to re-wet it. Get my gray in there. Get my yellow back in there. And at that demarcation line, get it really good and wet. And then give it the chance to spread. A little bit of yellow. A little bit of gray. A little bit of yellow. And then give it a chance to spread. A little bit of yellow to re-wet. A little bit of gray. A little bit of yellow. Now you see I'm not touching the tops at all. I'm just down here at the bottom. Because by not going back over the tops, it is giving me my highlight and my shadow and everything that I need using 2 markers. You want to blend it out more? Come back in, get it wet again. Every time you get it wet, you force it to spread. Let's do the blue. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to color my blue. And I'm going to go over the gray like I did. You got to take the fear out of coloring with an alcohol marker. You can do this. Color my blue. Go over the gray that I already did. Do my blue. And then we'll start coming back and re-wetting the ink so that you force a blend. It's all about the ink moving. And then you have to give it time to move, because the longer it has time, the more it softens and blends into each other. Okay, I mean, not the greatest coloring job. I just really need to get that color down. Then I'll come back with a little bit of my blue, and I will come back with a little bit of my gray, and then I'll come back with my blue again. And I'm not going over the whole thing. I want to get that one area right there. Thank you. And I can add a little more gray down here if I want it a little darker. So then I'm going to come in. So this one I'm going to let sit, and let's see what happens, that top one. Now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to use my blue to re-wet that gray, and then a little bit more gray, and then my blue again at that demarcation kind of line. And then if I want a little more gray towards the bottom, and then you let the marker do its thing. Let the ink do what the ink is supposed to do. So I wanted these just a little bit more contemporary by adding the gray towards the bottom. A little bit more of a modern take on a traditional tulip. And just by taking the two colors and keeping them wet and working with them together, I'm able to create the shading and the shadow and the highlight that I'm looking for. For $4. What do you think? Now I have options. Now I can go back if I really want to, and instead of coloring all the leaves, because, well, that takes time, what if I just put my stencil over it? Come on, line it up. And go. I don't have to even do the detail stencil if I don't want to. Oh, I stenciled over the top of my blue. Gosh darn it, Stacy. Next time be more careful. Stenciled right over the top of it. Gosh darn it. We're just going to fix that by forcing a blend. We're just going to get rid of that green. So when it dries, nobody will know it happened. 2 markers. Really pretty outcome. Alcohol ink markers are not scary. They are not. You just have to play and give yourself the chance. And the most important thing is to remember to keep the ink wet. Keep the ink wet. And then, of course, we have the die cuts for all of these. So the set comes with the die cut, which layers right over the top. Bring over my die cutting machine. They're going to go through any regular standard die cutting machine, whether it be a Spellbinders or a Gemini or a Sizzix or a Big Shot or a Vagabond. What do you have? I am working on a magnetic platform that does not come with the machine. The magnetic platform is separate, and the reason I like it is because you can line it up and your paper doesn't move. Magnetic platform is a pretty amazing, awesome little tool. If you do lots of stamping and die cutting, it is your best friend. Now, I don't know how lined up I am. I just want to show you that you can then die cut them out. They're an open frame die. There's nothing intricate to it. You don't need to go back and forth. You don't need a precision base plate. Pop right out. Bam. And look, you can barely even tell my green is on there. Shucks, man. You put that on a card and nobody's gonna know. These are an amazing value. Even at the $20, they're an amazing value. And remember, we started way, way, way back here. Way, way, way back here. Right? They're just the perfect little addition. Just the perfect little addition. There are 4 different sets of the stencil die stamp combinations. There are 3 different sets of the words. We are only selling the words as a bundle. You buy one, you're going to get all 3. They would retail for about $14.99. We're doing all 3 sets for $5.99. That gives you 12 sheets to play with. Whether you keep them black and white, or whether you ink them the way I've been doing. Completely up to you. You have options. How do you want it to look? What do you want it to say? Again, they're reprinting them in the toner paper. Those will be at full price when they come in. So my recommendation is to get 2 sets and share them with friends, take them to church, use them in your youth group. Remember, you can color just individual words, and you need to use an alcohol-based marker to do this. So a Bic, a Sharpie, Couture Creations alcohol ink marker. I would not use Copics to do this. They're just too much money. Aussie Andrew's $1.99 markers are going to do the trick and more. So we started there. Then we talked about the two that have issues. That would be these two, that the stencils didn't get all the way manufactured properly. You have to do a little bit of add-on to them. But as a free gift, if you do the I Want It All, we're going to give you the oil pastels from Sizzix so that you can color just with the oil pastels if you want to. I mean, these were done just with the oil pastels, or you can use the stencils, but it allows you to go in there and fix everything, the little tiny oopses that they didn't get done. And then we have the two that have no issue at all, that are stunning. And whether you do the stenciling, whether you do alcohol inking with the alcohol markers, whether you use the so you've got the stencil versus alcohol markers, whichever way you do it, however you do it, it's going to be beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about what we've got for sale. Also, Aussie Andrew has brought out his new alcohol ink. This is for if you have his pens. He's bringing out more pens. Do you see that there's room to add? Well, that's because he's got more coming. And this is done out of specialty paper, so you can go in and do all your coloring, all your swatches, and then you can keep this with you. If you're out shopping and you need to pick up some more markers, you'll know which ones you already have. And as he adds colors, you can then swatch them out. $4 for the book. That's a holy smokes artichokes price. $4. The Sizzix pastels are $5.99, and that's the price. $5.99 if you just want the pastels. But if you do the I Want It All bundle, so if you do the I Want It All bundle, this would be 20, 40, 60, 80, $85.99. We're doing it for $51.99. All of it, $51.99. All of it, $51.99. That's an amazing value. If you want open stock, $20, $20. They'll be regular price, $20, and the two that have oopsies will be $12 if you just want one or two. But $51.99 for all four plus the Sizzix. And even if the $5.99, I would pick up, I mean, if you've got kids or grandkids or a crafting club, for $5.99, these are an amazing value. The Wordies, again, it's only a bundle. So you'll get all three for $5.99, and when they come back out again, they'll be full price. So we've only got so many. Again, if you can afford to pick up two, I would, just because they are so useful, because you can color them to anything that you want. I do have stumps and the sharpener. Don't remember how much these are. I want to say maybe $6.99 for the stumps and the sharpener, and they're just going to come bagged like this. We're just having it bagged like that, simple, easy, basic, but at least you have them to play with. Don't forget, you can use Q-tips if you want. The alcohol markers will all be on sale. Well, they'll be $1.99. I can't do any better than $1.99 for the alcohol markers. And we'll put the India ink on sale. Yeah, we'll put the India ink on sale. Okay, that's a lot, right? That's a lot. The bundle's a really great value, but you have your choice. Any way you want to get it, or if it didn't float your boat at all, that's fine too. Samples. Let's get to samples. All right, so I showed you this one. And my son James, this is SMS guy James's card. He did a great job. You can see he fixed the little problem. Don't even know it was there. And then we have honorary SMS girl Patty, who did this one that I love. All of the little sentiments here you see came from Creative Expressions. Be your own kind of beautiful. Look at, it's got the little ombre sentiment. How pretty is this? All die cut out. And then she took the stamps that come with the set and she stamped behind it to give it more of a 3D. She popped it. So you've got flat here, but you've got this, the actual die cut popped a little bit. So pretty. And then look at this one. And the Be Happy is from the set. The little tags are in the dies that come with one of the sets. The tulips were done with the Sizzix oil pastels. That's soft and elegant and beautiful. Make-A-Wish. Love the colors. Never Give Up. Just easily colored. Not a lot done. Doesn't have to be. High, even High comes in one of the little wordy sets. Happy Birthday. There Are No Little Dreams. They're beautiful. Love and Hugs. I mean, they really are beautiful. And they're so accessible to every level of crafter. If you've been crafting forever, you already know you can take these way past what I've shown you. You already know that. But if you're a newbie crafter, think of how successful you'll be from the start. You might do one or two practice and then all of a sudden they just start to look amazing. This was all done with the soft pastels from Sizzix. Give yourself the chance, the opportunity to play, to dabble into the art market with soft pastels, but then dabble into the paper crafting market with the Wordies and the die cuts. The two worlds play together so well. All the sentiment. Look at Today's a New Day. Isn't that pretty? And then just for fun, took a whole sheet. It's the birthday one. Took a whole sheet, cut it down to size, put it on a card, put some bling, happy birthday, best wishes, make a wish, smile, dream, everything you need to say to somebody on a card. Bam! Drop the mic, walk off the stage. All right, you guys. Oh, I have a layout. Wait, I have a layout that was done with the Sizzix oil pastels. So those, is that the peony? Those are the peonies. Here we have stacked the sentiments, and Claire has put together a beautiful, beautiful layout. Now, I colored one of those peonies. It was my sample when I was trying the product out. You want to guess which one I colored? Claire did a great job of matching what I did. And then she put it all together. And I love how she stacked the words. All right, you guys. Oh, this is probably the longest YouTube ever. But it is what it is, right? If you don't know what you don't know, and that's just the way it is. If I don't tell you, you don't know what you don't know. So you wouldn't know that there might be a problem with these stencils unless I show you, unless I tell you. You don't know that you have the opportunity to be creative with them and kind of fix them. And as creative people, I'd rather have to be a little creative and save money. I'm all about the deal. No question about it. So I know they're long, but they're a class. This isn't a demo, and it's not a here, let me show you how to make this card so you can go copy it. You are welcome to copy anything that we do, but more importantly, it shows you how the product works and how to use it so that you can make an informed decision. Do I like that? Would I use that? Do I need that? Do I want that? Better to see it ahead of time than to take your hard-earned crafty budget and spend it on things that may not meet your expectations. Totally get it. So you may find the Sizzix oils at your local retailer, your local independent mom and pop shop. You might find inks there. You might find blending brushes there. Shop there first for those things. For the couture or for the Creative Expressions bundle deal and the Couture Creations bundle deal, well, that's us. And that's only because we got the product before anybody else and found the oopsies, found the opportunities to be creative. So I'm Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Thank you for staying with me. If you did, I so appreciate it. And I will see you all next week. Bye.